Everything God thinks materializes. There's no limit to time and space. Every thought of him is pure and good. So it always comes about. So we realize that we are in his image, and from that pure source, like what a righteous person speaks, even if it doesn't seem to happen, it eventually happens because it's the will of God, and God's will is always done. So you connected with that means that nothing is done in vain. Anything done out of love that is good always has that result. And even the negative things, we realize that everything stems from that goodness. So while that person that did the evil may have to be punished, there is good overall that comes from it. But you want to be directly connected with that source, with nothing between you and God. So you realize that that love already exists. Just shed the negative. And so while you live in a body that seems to define you and say you are this way, like Abraham, you can go above what the physical zodiac and all these things would otherwise decree for you, because you do not live by the physical signs. You, like God, are also above this. You can transcend time and space in this way, where you realize that that good thought that you had, because you believe it, you already receive it. So it's already coming about. It's just in this world, the perception is like that it takes a while, but we know that with God, it's always instantaneous. So because you're willing something, because you're praying it, it's already being drawn to you. That answer is already on its way. So we just remain steadfast in this world. Our daily goal, what should we be doing every day? Overcome evil with good. Evil is not just like what we picture as a sin. It's just anything that is negative. Do never be overwhelmed by evil, but overwhelm evil with good. And it's so easy to do when you realize that that negative is non-existence. It has no power at all. There's only some kind of good in it that is enabling it, that's feeding it. And sometimes we are feeding the negative side by giving it attention. So stop doing that. Okay? So like for the time that was necessary, but if you're already waking up and not wanting to do that, then it's no longer time to feed the negativity. It's no longer time to focus on all this petty nonsense. Focus on what does exist. Focus on God, and you will always have a good result. Remember who you are. So on the highest level, there's just the Father. But then before creation, there's the Father and wisdom, his presence, Shekinah, the bride. I believe these are the same. So if you remember your Creator, then like before you were born, this is your soul. You are the bride of Hashem, like how Israel is his bride, and all those who have that same faith of Abraham, they are connected. So remember who you are. One final example to help you understand how there is only God. So there's just the Father, right? And then the Father and what comes from his side, like the bride, his presence, however you perceive that. And then that's like the first part of his name, Yod He. The Father, and He represents the bride. And then that kind of duplicates where the Son is the exact image of the Father, and that comes from the union of the two. And so there's the Father, the bride, his bride, the Son, and then the Son also has a bride, so that's duplicated. So that's Yud He Vav He. But there's also like the 72 word, each word is a 3-letter word, name of Hashem, where like all of Torah is the name of Hashem. So what you could understand is that his name just keeps expanding. Like from the source, you have a seed, and that seed keeps reproducing after its kind. So all these things are an expression of the divine, of God. And his name is actually infinite. So like there's no end. Like it says at the end of the Gospels that even the world itself couldn't contain the books that would be written about just that ministry time of Messiah, who is the exact image of the Father. So everything is just a fuller and fuller and expanded expression of Hashem. So his name keeps expanding like that. Okay, so while on our further removed from God, and we might be just seeing people, and you can say like, is there a true lover for me? Like, but really just like God is in everybody. You love everybody. So you want to have just one partner because that's like how the image of God works. Um, but really God is equally everywhere. So you love everybody. And so there's only God, there's only the Father, then there's only God and his bride, there's only God and his bride and the Son and the bride. So that's kind of how you can understand how there is only God, and then you just kind of are expanding his name.